Today is a good day because today we finally get to play around with one of my favorite weapons of all time, the Tenet Arca Plasmor. This is an absolutely tremendous gun that I love very dearly and it looks sick. Look at it. It's so cool. Now, because it is a Tenet weapon, the only way to get it is by vanquishing a sister of Padavos that's wielding it. And it is a primary shotgun that fires an absolutely enormous projectile that does pure radiation damage, well, plus the valence bonus, I suppose, with a 22% crit chance, a 2x crit multiplier, and a 34% status chance. Additionally, the projectile has infinite body punch through and it will bounce off of terrain. It's just a really fun weapon, so let's give it a shot, shall we? I'm going to buy a bunch of adapters. I have no idea why I bought one with platinum last time, because I have loads of steel essence, so let's get 10 of each. Let's start off with an adapter. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to this. I really want to go with Vendetta here for the multi-shot and the reload speed, because the reload on the Tenet Arca Plasmor is not great, but I hope I can keep it up because the Arca Plasmor has quite a bit of range, so I have a tendency to fire at enemies that are far away. We're going to try out Canonade, but I'm not sure if we're going to keep it, because the fire rate on this is not great, and I usually like to run at least some fire rate. But on the other hand, Canonade is a lot of damage, so I would love to use it here. Another benefit of using Canonade is we can run critical deceleration without losing any fire rate, which is tremendous. And let's also get, where is it? No, that's point blank, Ravage. There we go. We could go with the Hunter munition setup. We unfortunately can't run internal bleeding, which is a shame because this has a force impact proc on the projectile, but if we want to do some slash stuff, we can do Hunter munitions. I want to try Corrosive and Blast here. I think that would be a lot of fun. Frigid Blast and Scattering Inferno. It's quite a lot of damage per shot actually, and the status chance is quite nice as well. We can actually fit in Galvanized Acceleration. Yes, let's do that. Why not? This is doing better than expected. It's not the best thing in the world, but it do the damage. It do the damage indeed. What about the Corpus? Show me. Yeah. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Maybe you can try just Blast. Yeah, let's check out Corrosive for a second. Here we go, Shotgun Elementalist. This feels about the same actually. I think it's because we just don't have a lot of fire rate, so we're not proccing that much blast, so it's not exploding on its own, and we kind of need to wait for the enemies to die. Unsurprisingly enough, this is much worse, well, not much worse versus the Grenier, but it is worse because, well, they are weak to Corrosive. This might be a bit of a brave decision, but I want to go back to Corrosive and Blast, so let's get Corrosive back in there. However, I want to do like a big boy version of this with like Prime Charge Shell and Prime Chilling Grasp. Let's get a dash in here. We can actually run Prime Charge Shell right away, and we can actually fit in Galvanized Acceleration as well. Tremendous. Already, that's like a lot of damage per shot, my god. There we go, rank 34. Okay, next up we have a D right here. Apply. There we go. This gives us enough mod capacity to run Prime Chilling Grasp, but unfortunately we can only fit in normal acceleration, which is fine. My god, 37.4k? Almost 37.5k per shot. That is some serious damage, my dudes and dudettes. Let's see what it do. This is actually pretty decent, especially considering that Corrupted are not weak to Corrosive or Blast. As a matter of fact, I think they're actually weak, or resistant rather, to radiation. You know what, this is good, I like this, but I feel like it needs a little bit more. Something, just something. Surprisingly enough, the fire rate feels fine. Sometimes I want to fire before the gun is ready, but it doesn't happen too often. So that's good. Even the single target versus like Eximus and stuff seems to be solid enough. Like right here, we have an Ancient, bam, dead. Another one, dead. Awesome sauce. I am dumb, I think we all know that by now, but I just realized that Galvanized Savvy not only works here, because this is not an explosion, right? This is a projectile. And because it is a projectile, I am fairly certain it's multiplicative, so I've been missing out on an absolutely enormous amount of damage. We could go Corrosive and Heat, like this. That's an option. Or we can stick to Blast with Frigid Blast, because, well, I have a heat-based Arca Plasmor. Or we can go with Prime Chilling Grasp, because we do lose quite a bit of base damage from this, so maybe we invest into this a little bit more. I think it's worth it. Nice and quick. We can even put it into the empty slot just to trigger a few people. There we go. That gives us 33.4k. That is awesome. We still have a decent amount of status chance because of the Galvanized Savvy. And now that I'm looking at it, we can still fit in galvanized acceleration. Perfect. Let's do a proper test with like Harold as well. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, bloody hell. Yeah, that's just that's just a little bit better. Holy shit. Also, minimal ramp up here. Essentially, 1 kill is all you need because you get the condition overload from Savvy and you get Vendetta if the enemy you killed is within 5 meters of you. So basically no ramp up. Amazing. Yeah, this feels about as good as the Arca Plasmor has ever felt. I love this. Vendetta does sometimes fall off, but the uptime on it is long enough to where you will usually, even if you're not paying attention to it, you will get a kill within 5 meters and refresh it before it runs out. One thing I will say though is that I'm not sure Blast is necessarily worth it because this has a lot of AoE on its own, so maybe you'd be better off if you had like a cold-based Arca Plasmor. Also, Acolyte, perfect timing. What are you doing down there? Okay, that's pretty good. That's tremendous. Let's reload. Yep. Awesome. Awesome. I don't know about you, but I think we have a winner here. This is an absolute banger of a build. So, here's the final setup for the Tenet Arca Plasmor, and it is absolutely delightful. It's running Galvanized Hell for multi-shot, a critical deceleration for a bunch of crit chance, a semi-shotgun cannonade which removes the negative fire rate from critical deceleration, but also gives us a ton of fire rate as well. Then we have Primed Ravage for crit damage, Primed Chilling Grasp which combines with my Valence bonus, which is Heat, into Blast, though you could just go with Pure Cold as well, that would work too. After that, we have Galvanized Savvy for status chance and multiplicative condition overload scaling, Toxic Barrage and Prime Charge Shell for a ton of corrosive damage and extra status chance, Galvanized Acceleration for faster projectiles and better fall off, and we top it off with Shotgun Vendetta as our arcane for multi-shot and reload speed. Now, even though this is a corrosive setup, Emerald Archon charts for more maximum corrosive procs have essentially no effect here because the fire rate isn't high enough to where it would make any difference. The one thing that will make a massive difference is a good priming pad, since the condition overload effect from Galvanized Savvy is multiplicative here. The Tenet Arca Plasmor has always been really fun, but it lacked a bit of damage unless you were going with a Cookie Cutter Hunter Munitions build. This was basically a direct result of the headshot changes where AoE weapons can headshot, but they don't have a headshot multiplier anymore. Because they used to have one, and they were really strong because of it. But then they changed it, and as a result of that, the Arca Plasmors were left in a bit of a weird spot, where you basically had to go with Hunter Munitions, or you didn't have enough damage. Until now. So yeah, I would absolutely recommend you give this setup a shot. It is a ton of fun, and it does good enough damage to cruise through Steel Path. And as always guys, I thank you very much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. Then I would also like to extend a special thank you to all the channel members. Thank you very much guys, I really appreciate your support, it means a lot to me. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.